Hello, my name is Joe Jackson, and I'm Executive Director for the USDOT Small Business Transportation Resource Center. My presentation will consist of understanding contract payment terms. Access to capital is essential to the survival of any business, but most important to DBE firms. It is important for businesses to understand all terms and conditions of a contract, but most importantly, it is important to understand how you will be paid. Every federal funded contract is required to have special provisions which stipulate the payment terms of a contract. In this webinar, we will discuss the following payment terms and conditions. 1. Prompt payment terms. The prompt payment clause stipulates the term of when the contract is to be paid by the contract agency and the prime. 2. Retainage. In construction law, retainage is the portion of the contract that is held back until the contract is substantially completed, and it is not paid until the job is satisfactorily finished. The amount is written into the contract and varies by contract. Often, the retainage rate is 10% and is often reduced to 5% when the project is half completed, or by some other arrangement. Once again, understanding the entire payment terms are definitely essentially important, but so often, businesses fail to review the retainage. Retainage is very important, so do not forget to understand the terms of the retainage. Okay, great. Now let's talk next about what prompt payment terms a recipient must have. A. You must establish as a DBE program a contract clause to require prime contractors to pay subcontractors for satisfactory performance of their contract no later than 30 days from the receipt of each payment you make to a prime contractor. B. You must ensure prompt payment and full payment retainage from the prime contractor to the subcontractor within 30 days after the subcontractor's work is satisfactorily completed. You must use one of the following methods to comply with this requirement. 1. You may decline to hold retainage from a prime contractor and prohibit the prime contractors from holding retainage from subcontractors. 2. You may decline to hold retainage from a prime contractors and require a contract clause obligating prime contractors to make prompt and full payment of any retainage kept by the prime contractor to the subcontractor within 30 days after the subcontractor's work is satisfactorily completed. 3. You may hold retainage from prime contractors and provide for prompt and regular incremental acceptance of portions of the prime contract. Pay retainage to prime contractors based on acceptance and require a contract clause obligating the prime contractor to pay all retainage owed to the subcontractor for satisfactory completion of the accepted work within 30 days after your payment to the prime contractor. C. For purposes of this section, a subcontractor's work is satisfactorily completed when all tasks called for in the subcontract have been accomplished and documented as required by the recipient. When a recipient has made an incremental acceptance of the portion of the prime contract, the work of the subcontractor covered by the acceptance is deemed to be satisfactorily completed. D. Your DBE program must provide appropriate means to enforce the requirements of this section. These means may include appropriate penalties for failure to comply, the terms and conditions of which you set. Your program may also provide that any delay or postponement of payment among the parties may take place for good cause within prior written approval. Cash flow is important to any business, and some of the things that we've discussed is very important and is essential to ensure that you get paid in a timely manner. Now let's continue with E. E. You may also establish as a part of your DBE program any of the following additional mechanisms to ensure prompt payment. 1. A contract clause that requires prime contractors to include in their subcontract language, providing that prime contractors and subcontractors will use appropriate alternative dispute resolutions mechanisms to resolve payment disputes. You may specify the nature of such mechanisms. 2. A contract clause providing that prime contractor will not be reimbursed for the work performed by subcontractors unless and until the prime contractor ensures that the subcontractors are promptly paid for the work they have performed. 3. Other mechanisms consistent with this part and applicable to the state and local law to ensure that DBEs and other contractors are fully and promptly paid. In conclusion, as you can clearly see, this section of the contract is very important and it runs with the performance of the contract. Failure to perform on schedule and within budget can negatively impact your cash flow and the performance of your contract. As you begin to submit your monthly invoices based on the work completed in progress, you want to ensure that you are paid on time. I often say, from time to time, the cost of capital is not cheap. This is why everyone plays an important role in the process. 1. Agencies to inspect and authorize the invoices for timely payments. 2. The prime contractors to submit invoices in a timely manner. And 3rd, and lastly, for the DBE firms to clearly understand the terms of the payment provisions and to ensure that they are well capitalized to complete the project and pay their subs and their employees on time. Thank you, and for a follow-up, please review CFR 49-26-29 of the Prompt Payment Clause, and please ensure that you review each of your contract's prompt payment provision clauses. The CFR 49 Part 26 is the DBE regulations that the federal government has stipulated a part of the Contract Federal Registry. Once again, my name is Joe Jackson, and it's been a pleasure to present Understanding Your Contract Payment Terms.